Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Gibardhari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Gibardhari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Gibardhari. Pijanavallabha Gibardhari. Jaisacinandana Prajajanranjana. Jaisacinandana Prajajanranjana. Jaisacinandana Prajajanranjana. Jaisacinandana Prajajanranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanacharim. Jamuna Tira Vanacharim. Jamuna Tira Vanacharim. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Go Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Go Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha, Radhanath, Radha, Radhanath, Radhe. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Gaura Hari, Gaura Hari, Gaura Hari, Jaya Gaura Hari. Nitya Gaura Haribo, 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 Gaura Haribo. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Go Premanandi. Jayam Vishnupad, Paramamsa Parivrajaka Dr. Srimad. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. ISKCON Founder Srila Prabhupada ki. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Granth Bhaktivedanta Purpose ki. Srila Vedavyasa ki. All glories to the simple devotees. All glories to simple devotees. All glories to simple devotees. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So we like to welcome you to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Reading from the 4th canto, chapter 22, text number 58. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chevam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye Nasta Praisya Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatuttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Prithu Maharaj meeting with the Kumaras. Varshati Sma Yata Kamam Parjanya Eva Tarpayan Samudra Eva Dumbodha Satvena Achala Eva Varshansma yata kamam. Varshatisma yata kamam. Varshatisma yata kamam. Pajanya eva tarpanayam. Pajanya eva tarpayam. Samudra eva durbudha. Samudra eva durbodha. Satven achala rat iva. Satven achala rat viva. Vashatisma yata kamam. Pajanya eva karpayan. Samudra eva durbodha. Satvena chalarat eva. Varshatisma yata kamam. Pajanya eva tarpayam. Samudra eva durbodha. Satvena chalarat eva. Vashatisma yata kamam. Pajanya eva tarpayan. Samudra eva durbudha. Samudra eva. Vashatisma yata kamam. Pajanya eva tarpayan. Satvena chalarat. Smayata. Yevata. Amudra eva durbodha. Satvena chalarat eva. Vashatisma yata kamam. Pajanya eva tarpayan. Samudra eva durbodha. Satvena chalarat eva. Varshati, pouring. Sma, used to. Yata kamam, as much as one can desire. Pajanya, water. Eva, like. Tarpayan, pleasing. Samudra, the sea. Eva, likened. Durbodha, not understandable. Satvena, by existential position. Achala, the hills. Not Rateva, like the king of. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Just as rainfall satisfies everyone's desires, Maharaj Prithu used to satisfy everyone. He was like the sea, in that one could understand its depths, and no one could understand his depths. And he was like Meru, the king of hills, in the fixity of his purpose. Purport. Maharaj Prithu used to distribute his mercy to suffering humanity, and it was like rainfall after excessive heat. The ocean is wide and expansive, and it is very difficult to measure its length and breadth. Similarly, Prithu Maharaj was so deep and grave that no one could fathom his purposes. The hill known as Meru is fixed in the universe as a universal pivot, and no one can move it an inch from its position. Similarly, no one could ever dissuade Maharaj Prithu when he was determined. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumalitam Jaina Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jaina Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunath Anvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyahevacha Patitanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading the ongoing description and glorification of this King Prithu. We can see the symptoms of a Mahabhagavat, a great, very great devotee of the Lord. Not just a king in name, but a great devotee of the Lord, a sadhu. And we're seeing him compared to, there's nice analogies given that compared to the ocean, the rainfall, and Mount Meru, the fixity of Mount Meru. Mount Meru is described in Bhagavad Gita also. Krishna is saying, of mountains, I am Mount Meru. Of the immovable, I am the Himalayas. So these are all very great descriptions of Meru. And Meru is, throughout Bhagavatam, I was searching for some, so many descriptions of Meru and so many pastimes surrounding this mountain and the surrounding areas of this mountain. It's very, very fascinating. Just reading and hearing about it. Therefore Krishna is describing, he says, of mountains I am Mount Meru, the king of hills. So the mercy of a devotee is unparalleled, is unfathomable. Like, who can understand the mind of a Vaishnava? I forget what is the Sanskrit term on that. Who can understand the mind of a Vaishnava? I remember Shamlal in his last days when he was in a very hill. He was kept repeating this like it was stuck in his mind. Every way the same verse would come out. Who can understand Kriya Mudra, something like that, Vaishnava Kriya Mudra. This was, who can understand the mind of a Vaishnava? Who can fathom the depths of the ocean is compared to like that. And the depths and breadths of the ocean, it's beyond our understanding. So the Vaishnava is glorified because he brings relief from the suffering. People, especially in the material world, people are suffering. In so many ways, just to take birth in the material world is actually a suffering condition. We have to contend with birth, death, disease, old age, isn't it? And the threefold miseries are there, isn't? How can we say we're not suffering? Anybody can say they're not suffering. To take birth in the material world it's a challenge. Adversity is always there. And we have to learn to live with adversities. But how? Not in a material way. It's very difficult. We have to, because the material world it's a material problem. But we need a spiritual solution to a material problem. A spiritual solution to a material problem. And that will solve all our problems in this material world. The problem of birth, death, disease, old age. It means that we have to learn to understand the nature of this body and its limitations. That at some point it's going to leave us. We're going to leave this body. But how is that we become, this attachment is so deep. And that is really suffering. Isn't this attachment, intense attachment, and the time of parting is so painful. It is so painful. Therefore, when we take shelter of the Vaishnavas and the Supreme Person of Godhead, and there's some relief is there, although it makes us, gives us confidence, gives us that courage to face it. And then the devotee of the Lord, he sees all this as the Lord's mercy. He sees all the suffering that he's going through as the Lord's mercy. He doesn't blame, like the materialists will blame God. Why are you sending? Yesterday was devastating weather, isn't it? Cold, freezing, the wind. This is all one part of the kleshas of the Adidevic miseries caused by higher forces beyond our control. But do we blame God for that? No. We blame ourselves. We has to be. We has to be, or we desire to be in the material world. And therefore we have to face whatever comes. Isn't we have to take it goes with the territory that we have to face these challenges. And I was listening to one talk by one of the famous managers of football managers, and I was a very profound statement he made, and he said, adversities are part of life. And he went through so much himself, himself. And he was quite a religious man. He said, adversities are, and I thought it was very, and of course, we have to accept these things, they will come. These challenges, we cannot be in denial of these things. We cannot. We cannot have this philosophy of the ostrich burying the head in the sand when he sees danger. He isn't thinking the danger is gone. No, that is the illusion. We cannot be in that denial. But we can, through the mercy of the like great personalities, will come to shower the mercy, like the rainfall showers. Isn't after we appreciate rain, not so much here, but if in India during the heat, it can go up to 50 degrees, especially like now in this time of the year, it's getting very, very hot, and people, and the monsoon are like a welcoming sign, and everybody goes out and dance in the streets, isn't? Jump and dance in ecstasy. The rains have come and dissipate the intense heat that was so unbearable. So similarly, the Vaishnav, he brings that kind of relief, isn't it, to our suffering condition, be it in so many degrees of suffering. It's there. He sees through his magnanimous mercy, especially a leader like Maharaj Prithu. He says he used to satisfy everyone. So this is the duty of a leader, not just to make some please somebody and not please others, displease others, and there's always disunity and so many different kinds of unhappiness is there. But when a powerful king, like in the caliber of Maharaj Prithu, everybody becomes happy because he's carrying that wonderful aura of mercy, that aura of mercy, and we should emulate that as devotees also, to give that mercy when we've been recipients of that mercy also. That's why we're here. Why are we here? Because we've been recipients of that special mercy, and we could examine our lives outside of that, how it was such a hellish life. So when we come under the shelter, we appreciate that so much more. And because we appreciate it so much, then we want to also give that out, to shower that mercy also. Otherwise, Prabhupada said we are kripanas. Kripana means misers. We think of our own salvation. That's a kripana. Whereas a brahmana is charitable. The symptom of a brahmana is that he is very charitable. This is the day. And Prabhupada said, yeah, ideally we should become brahmanas. And Vaishnav is a brahmana. Yes, because the brahmana has all the attributes of a Vaishnava also. Like that. So we looking at Meru, in the 10th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is describing all these different Shaktis and Vibhutis, and how he's so many, in everything that we see of beauty, of excellence, that it's him. He represents him. Demigods, the Rudra, I am, like that. And then he says, of mountains, I am Meru. It's going through some of that. It says Meru mountain is also known as Sumeru mountain. Meru, Sumeru. And this mountain is known for its rich natural resources. We read more on this. This mountain is made of solid gold, and it's somewhere between the sun planet and the earth. And one time we were, I don't know if you were there, Raghunath, and Sukumari was there in Bombay, when they had the 35th anniversary of the opening. You were there, I think, and Swarup and Brihad Bhagavad. It was on the 14th January, a very auspicious day. It also is the 35th anniversary of the opening of the Jew temple. And of course, the whole week of celebrations were going on there. And at night, we would all meet on the top of there was like an open air arena, and there were lectures by the different, Giriraj Swami, Burijan Swami was there, Radhanath Swami was there, Gopal Krishna Maharaj was, I remember, and there was many other. So they're mentioning how somehow it came to this And they were quoting, like somebody approached Prabhupada, and I don't know what's the devotee's name, it starts with D. Dhananjaya, yes, not Dinanath, Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya asked Prabhupada, we know that you know there's a mountain, golden mountain somewhere, and I want to go there. I just want a kilo of gold so that I can, carry on with the Sankirtan and, increase the resources of the temple. At that time, they were also trying to fundraise and different ways of fundraising. And Prabhupada replied, yes, I know, but I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. That's when and this is quoted in Giriraj Swami's book also, this pastimes there in the dancing white elephants. And I think also in the Albulua temple, that pastime of this mountain. So seems like it's this mountain here we're talking about is made of solid gold. Yeah. Then this is from the third canto, the pastime of Kadamba Muni. He was like a mystic yogi, and he married Devahuti. And just by his mystic power, he created an aerial mansion, a fortress, like a flying fortress that with everything they needed. Imagine this old Radhanath temple flying and with all the things we need. It's there with all the devotees. But they had like 1,000 maidservants at a bequest. And everything that was there is described here. He says, in that aerial mansion he traveled to the pleasure valleys of Mount Meru, which were rendered all the more beautiful by cool, gentle, fragrant breezes that stimulated passion. In these valleys, the treasure of the gods, Kuvera, surrounded by beautiful women and praised by the Siddhas, generally enjoys pleasure. Kadamba Muni, also surrounded by beautiful damsels, and his wife went there and enjoyed for many, many years. So the daughter of Swayambhuva Manu, Devahuti, we know the celebrated son of hers is Kapila Muni, who is also in the partial expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah. The hill known as Meru is fixed in the universe as a universal pivot, and no one can move it an inch from its position. Similarly, no one could ever dissuade Maharaj Prithu when he was determined. The person of Godhead appearing on the shoulder of Garuda seemed like a cloud resting on the summit of the mountain known as Meru. The transcendental body of the person of Godhead was covered by attractive yellow garments, and his neck was decorated with the jewel known as Kaustubha Mani. The bodily effulgence of the Lord dissipated all the darkness of the universe. Then Sukadev Goswami also describes this in the 5th canto. Sukadev Swami also described Meru mountain and the prana systems known as Bhumandala. Bhumandala is like a lotus flower, and its 7 islands are compared to the whirl of the lotus. The place known as Jambudvip is in the middle of that whirl. So it's all described very graphically and detail in the 5th canto, the universe, the structure of the universe, the size, in such great detail. In Jambudvip there is a mountain known as Sumeru, which is made of solid gold. The height of the mountain is 84,000 yojana. 1 yojana is equivalent to 8 miles, 84,000 yojanas, of which 16,000 yojanas are below the earth. Its width is estimated to be 32,000 yojanas at its summit and 16,000 yojanas at its foot. 1 yojana equals approximately 8 miles. This king of mountains, Sumeru, is the support of this planet had. There are also lakes of milk, honey, sugarcane juice, and pure water. These lakes can fulfill all desires. There are also gardens named as Nandana. We know another pastime there when the king of elephants, Gajendra, also had some pastime there in Nandana Gardens. Chittaratha, Vaibarajaka, and Sarvatobhadra. On the side of Supashva mountain is a Kadamba tree with streams of honey flowing from its hollow. And on Kumuda mountain, there is a banyan tree named Satsvalsa, from whose roots flow rivers containing milk, yogurt, and many other desirable things. Anyways, very much detail. Sumeru again is a mountain of solid gold, shining as brilliantly as fire. Is surrounded by these 8 mountains. In the middle of the summit of Meru is the township of Lord Brahma. Each of his 4 sides is calculated to extend for 10 million yojanas. 10 million, that's equivalent to 80 million miles. It is made entirely of gold, and therefore learned scholars and sages call it Satakombi. The Ganges river emanating from the lotus feet of the Lord inundates the heavenly planets, especially the moon, and then flows through the Brahmapuri atop Mount Meru. Here the river divides into 4 branches, known as Sita, Alakananda, Chakshu, and Bhadra, which then flow down to the ocean of the salt water. After purifying the 7 planets near Dhruvaloka, the pole star, the Ganges water is carried through the spaceways of the demigods. And how it's carried? By billions of celestial airplanes. Then it inundates the moon and then finally reaches Lord Brahma's abode atop Mount Meru. It's quite a lengthy description, but I'm just cutting it, taking it very short. Learned scholars who are free from mistakes, illusions, and propensities to cheat have thus described the planetary systems and their particular symptoms, measurements, and locations with great deliberation. They have established the truth that the distance between Sumeru and the mountain known as Lokaloka is 1/4 of the diameter of the universe, or in other words, 125 million yojanas, equivalent to 1 billion miles. On the Manasotara mountain are the abodes of 4 demigods. East of Sumeru mountain is Devadani, where King Indra lives. And south of Sumeru is Samamani, the abode of Yamaraj, the superintendent of death. The chariot of the sun god has only one wheel, which is known as Samvatsara. So this chariot, that how the sun is shining every day, is pulled by chariots, isn't? It's described. The 12 months are calculated to be its 12 spokes. The 6 seasons are the sections of its rhythm, and the 3 Chaturmasya periods are its 3-sectioned hub. One side of the axle carrying the wheel rests upon the summit of Mount Sumeru, and the other rests upon Manasotara mountain. Fixed to the outer end of the axle, the wheel continuously rotates on Manasotara mountain like the wheel of an oil pressing machine. is also scene of another pastime. This is from the 6th canto. Of Vritasura. Why did he become a demon? How did he become a demon? This question was raised by Maharaj Parikshit. It says, after personally talking with the Supreme Person of Godhead, King Chitraketu enjoyed life in his airplane with the woman of the Vidyadhara planet, engaging in the congregational chanting of the glories of the Lord. He began flying his plane and traveling to outer space. On that day, while traveling like this, he wandered into the bowers of Sumeru mountain, where he came upon Lord Shiva, embracing Parvati, surrounded by an assembly of siddhas, charanas, and great sages. Seeing Lord Shiva in that situation, Chitraketu laughed very loudly, but Parvati became very angry at him and cursed him. Because of this curse, Chitraketu later appeared as the demon Vritrasura. Yeah, so that's in the 6th canto. So all these were taking place in this. Then in north of the bottom of mountain is a forest known as Sukumara, where Lord Shiva always enjoys with Huma. Then in the 9th canto, the pastime of Durvasa Muni, after he was being, he committed great offense against Ambarish Maharaj, and naturally the Supreme Lord was not pleased, and he sent his chakra blazing after him to kill him. As the blazing flames of the forest fire pursue a snake, the disk of the Supreme Person of Godhead began following Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni saw that the disk was almost touching his back, and thus he ran very swiftly, desiring to enter a cave of Sumeru mountain, thinking he was going to be saved there. Then another pastime is this is from the 10th canto, where Narad was with a friend of the king of heaven. And thus he told Kamsa, the son of Ugrasen, "My dear hero, you have satisfied me with a proper reception, and therefore I shall tell you something secret and confidential. While I was coming here from the Nandakanana through the Chaitarata forest, I saw a great meeting of the demigods who followed me to Sumeru Parvata. We traveled through many holy places, and finally we saw the holy Ganges. While Lord Brahma was consulting the other demigods at the top of the Sumeru hill, I was also present with my stringed instrument, the veena. I shall tell you confidentially that the meeting was held just to plan to kill the Asuras, headed by you. You have a younger sister named Devaki, and it's a fact that the eighth son will kill you." So this was also that meeting was held in this part of where they were plotting Kamsa's downfall. So, that's just a few describing this wonderful pastimes. It's described, it's compared to that mountain, Mount Meru. Maharaj, he says, was fixed. And of course, in terms of opulence, he had everything because he so much surrendered to the Supreme Person of Godhead. And one who surrenders like that, the Lord provides everything. We see also in Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada went with nothing, practically nothing, to the West, with just a few rupees and some cereal and some sets of books, practically a beggar. But because of his surrender, Krishna gave him everything. So many temples, so many, Prabhupada was say, every temple has so many cars, and beautiful deities. But I came with nothing. And now we have so many temples, so many devotees. And of all, Krishna has sent all these wonderful devotees to help me in my mission, to spread this Krishna consciousness. So, depending on the Supreme Lord, everything will come. Sometimes we're in anxiety about where will money come. Prabhupada said, you distribute my books, and people will read these books, and they will be convinced, and they will give the money. Prabhupada had so much faith in that, that it would attract so many people, so even those in the upper, higher echelons of these great industrialists. So many of them came forward to. This is all captured in these stories are there in the by Giriraj Swami. So many of these great industrialists came to help and gave the money, set up trust funds, so in that way, this ISKCON today is quite thriving, not in terms of we the wealthiest, no, in terms of spreading the culture of Krishna consciousness and giving this special mercy, and thus emulating this great king, how he showered his mercy on it says, he was satisfying everyone without any distinction. Therefore, is the Maha Bhagavat. On that level, is like the Uttama Bhagavat. He didn't make any distinctions of who, like the rain falls everywhere, isn't even on rocks where there's no need for rain. And that is the nature. The rain's mercy is falling all over. So Maharaj Prithu is in that same, following in that tradition of mercy. That mercy, and we can emulate that. And just by hearing these wonderful pastimes, and try to do something of significance, and this way please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Is there any questions or comments? It's a very short purport. Try to.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Jai Prabhu. Regarding the gold, Dhananjay, I think Prabhupada could have showed them, where it is. But, it's a lesson for us to learn that we must not chase after gold or money.
Yes.
That's the lesson I was taking away from the point you made. Is that when we chase after these things, land us in trouble. Or when you're talking about the mountain is fixed and a devotee meant to be fixed, But then if you get attached to wealth, then you may leave. And, the association of devotees is more valuable than gold.
Yes.
That point was here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that's more important than gold.
Yeah, Prabhupada said.
Yeah, he said that. That's what the value of the association of the devotees. Yeah, it's important for us to associate with devotees, and knowing the mind of a devotee. Sometimes you said nobody knows the mind of a Vaishnava, and therefore it's important as devotees. If a Vaishnava do something out of the standard, is to go and ask him rather than finding fault in him. I think it's important to do that because you can then understand why he did certain things. Like I learned from a person who at work, he never ever corrected something. If he knew it was wrong, he would never mark it wrong. And he always brought it to you to find out yourself what you have done. It was really amazing, just so ordinary. So it's something that I learned from a materialist,
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Shri Prabhupada ki, Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.